Hello, everyone. Welcome to JAFM Audio. I'm James,
I'm Frankie.
and today we are going to start off by talking about the New York Mets. So we're what's that?
Oh yeah.
So we are a day before Memorial Day.
Yes.
It is now May 26th, and does it seem like the season's over for the Mets? What do you think?
In my eyes, it does.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say for you, but
Yes.
yeah, they're looking very subpar.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good. They do get the W today. They come from behind in the ninth inning. Far too many times we've seen the Mets come up just an inch short.
For years.
I believe it's happened 4 times this week. But today they pull out the W. They get the win. And now, where do we go from here? We move forward. The Mets are now, 8 games below 500? 9 games below 500? They're sitting at, 21 and 29? Or it's 22 and 30.
Yeah, 22 and 30.
So, we got to look at the positives. What are the positives? I know there's not so many, but we have to look at the positives.
What positives do you see?
I'll tell you some of the positives.
Not many.
We have, I believe, a good young player in Mark Vientos. As he stands now, Mark Vientos is batting .344. I know it's a small sample. It's 32 at-bats. He has 11 hits, 3 home runs. He's batting .344 on the year. Once again, a small sample. And I know this. Slugging .750, OPS of 1.167. But I believe he wants to win the third base job. I believe he wants to stay up with the major league club. You know, Vientos has been bounced up and down for the last 2 years. He's shown me something. He's only 24 years old. He's playing well. I think it's his job. I think he's making a case for it being his job. Brett Beatty, on the other hand, listen, his defense has been superb. His offense just not so much. I still feel like he's being overpowered at the plate.
I mean, yeah, we definitely expected more from him.
Yes.
I know you were very big on Brett Beatty to begin the season. And like you said, defensively, he's been solid, but we needed his offense. Well, you guys needed his offense. And he just hasn't been producing to the level you guys wanted him to.
Brett Beatty's 229, 140 at-bats with only 32 hits, 4 home runs. So Vientos has 3 home runs and 35 at-bats. Beatty has 4 home runs and 140 at-bats. You see where we're going here. It looks like Vientos is going to win this job at third base.
Yeah, we'll
That's
see.
a positive. What's another positive? Well, let's look at Christian Scott. Christian Scott has been looking good. That's another positive. Young arm, comes up from a farm system. He pitches well. He doesn't walk a lot of batters. And that's what you like to see for a starting pitcher.
If you want to say positive, he does have a 3.9 ERA. I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, he's learning. He's still learning. He's had good games. He's had bad games.
I know after the first game, James was going crazy about this kid.
I like him.
You like him.
I like him.
And then the next couple of games, not too good.
I don't think he's going to be a future Hall of Famer. I just think he's going to be a serviceable pitcher in the major league.
Like a 2 or 3 guy?
Maybe a very good 2, maybe a great 3. I don't know yet, but we have to let it play out. This is the point of this season. The Mets they didn't sign any big free agents outside of J.D. Martinez.
Yeah.
And they want to see...
Arguably your best hitter, if not second best.
He's a professional hitter.
Yeah.
He is a professional hitter. And you know what? Not just for his offensive stats. I was hoping that his experience rub off on the other players. It doesn't seem like it has.
Yeah, not at all.
Obviously, the team misses Francisco Alvarez. It almost feels like their energy level has dropped a notch without Alvarez being there. So he's definitely missed. I got to tell you the truth. I don't know how many times I can watch Tomas Nido behind the plate for the New York Mets. I'm sick of it. First of all, he almost knocks out Bryce Harper. Throwing the ball back to the pitcher. Today in the first inning, he makes a terrible throw to left field. He was trying to throw the ball to third to pick off a runner at third. He makes a terrible throw to left field. I don't know how much longer I can watch him play, to be honest with you.
I mean, you don't really have any other options right now.
Yes, I understand that.
So you gotta live with what you got, James. That's it.
So the team misses Alvarez, we know that. So that's a plus going into next season also when they feel like they're going to be a little bit more competitive. If Mr. Cohen decides to spend some big bucks.
I think they'll be competitive anytime soon. Just letting you know. It's gonna be a couple years.
It's
before they're
possible. We'll
competitive.
see. Listen, remember when he came as an owner? Came right away. He signs Lindor for a big contract. The following year, he gets some big free agents. Right away, we're competitive. 101 wins.
I love like these Mets fans that just get super hyped up. You know, one good year, and that's the story for the next 5 to 10 years. You know, one good year. You know, we had that one good year, and look where you guys are.
They had a good year, and
One
unfortunately,
good year.
it was with older players. Steve Cohen tried to a quick fix with his money, and it worked out for 1 year, well, a year and a half. And he decided to break up the team last year, and I was all for it, to be honest with you.
What's funny is, you know, you want a younger team, right?
Yes.
You want a bunch of young guys,
Yes.
and there's a lot of good young teams out there. Orioles are good, Brewers, you know, got a good young team. What's wrong with you guys?
Well, we haven't developed young talent. We haven't. Remember, when Steve Cohen purchased the team, he even made a mention. He stated, our farm system is a good 10 years behind other organizations. Not a lot of money was spent.
So you'll be good in 10 years.
No, I think he's fast tracking it. Look, he traded Verlander. He ate a lot of that money. A lot of that contract he ate.
Yeah.
That's on the payroll this year. Verlander's money. Scherzer's money is on the payroll this year. So he's trying to fast track it. You know, are we the best farm system right now? No. But are we the worst? No, we're not. So I believe, you know, I have faith in our ownership. For the first time in a very long time, I have faith in ownership. Absolutely.
All right. King Cohen, that's your guy?
Well, this year he's not really King Cohen. He kept the wallet closed, but that's all right. I'm not knocking it. Now, elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Edwin Diaz?
I mean, I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so.
Here's the thing. I don't believe it's an injury. I don't believe it's a recovery from an injury.
Do you think it's mental?
100%. 100% I believe it's mental. And this is not the first time we've experienced this as Met fans with Edwin Diaz. He's been like this before. Before 2022, 2021, if you look up his numbers, he had a terrible year. At one point, I think there were a lot of fans talking about trying to get rid of him. You know, we can't use him, whatever the case may be. I do believe it's confidence. You know, his slider's not breaking, so he's throwing fastballs. He was up at 97 the other day, even 98 he touched. The problem is, if a professional batter knows you're not going to throw your slider,
they're just going to sit one pitch.
Hello, exactly. Do you play the show?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I do.
All right. So we sit on fastballs.
Yeah,
and that's what's happening.
You know, it's crazy because that's right. No one's respecting the slider. He's not throwing it for a strike. He's not blowing by anybody anymore. And you do not think at all this has to do with the injury. You think it's 100% mental.
100%.
He's blown 4 saves out of 9.
You don't have to remind me.
50%.
Yes, it was.
If this continues going down this trend, who do you turn to instead? Do you want him not closing games anymore? Do you
it'd be nice
more towards a reliever role for like an inning or two?
Well, they did it with him a few games ago. He came in the 7th. And even then, he didn't look great. You know, so listen. What do you do here? Do you try to get his confidence back? Do you put him in a game where they're up by 7 runs? I mean, that doesn't happen a lot with these Mets. They're not up by a lot.
They're not hitting.
do you put him in a game where they're up by 3, 4? I don't even think 3-4 run leads are enough. You know, so I don't know. Maybe if you're down by a bunch of runs, you put him out there, let him work on his slide in real time. But you know, I believe it's confidence, and I think he's even mentioned it as well.
I think it's the injury mixed with the mental aspect. You know, when you come back from an injury, you don't want to re-aggravate the injury. Maybe he's being a little more cautious, especially when he's stepping off the mound to throw his pitches. You know,
how many blown saves he has this year?
4 out of 9.
Okay,
one more time. 4.
Okay,
out of 9.
Take
4. That's
almost 50%. Yeah, almost 50. Let me ask you something. Think about this for a second. Mets are sitting at 22-30. He don't blow those saves. The Mets are 26-26. We're having a whole different conversation. Really?
Yeah, but
it's a 500 team,
you know,
going into Memorial Day.
Sometimes that's imagination, James. This is reality. And the reality is you guys are not 500. You guys are what, 22-30 now?
22-30. 8 games on that. It's getting late very quick. You know, and you know what? Honestly, it's this is what we needed to see anyway. Next year, this team might look totally different. You might not have Pete Alonso at first. You might not have Jeff McNeil at second. You might not have Edwin Diaz closing your games. You're definitely not going to have Marte in right field. You're looking at a core group of guys gone, I believe. If this trend continues,
are you not nervous of the rebuild? You guys might have a few bad seasons before you're good.
I'm not. Once again, and I'm going to say this: he has track record has shown the guy spends money. We're still top 3 payroll in the league. A lot of that money is not on our roster. So I don't have a problem with him. I think he'll spend the money. I truly do. Now, if you're going to ask me if David Stearns is going to spend the money or is he going to build this like a small market team, that's another question. But you know what? I would like to be in Milwaukee's position right now at 30-22. All right?
Yeah, they could have been you guys, honestly.
Exactly. And that's what David Stearns has built in Milwaukee.
I think a big deal right now with the Mets, I don't even think it's their pitching. It's their hitting. They're just not hitting the ball. I mean, did you see Lindor take that strikeout? Like, he just stood there. It's like he gave up on the at-bat. Like,
he mentioned...
Why are players just giving up on at-bats like that?
Good question. He mentioned that he wasn't picking up the slider or the spin on the slider, which is really concerning.
So if I'm the next pitcher, I'm throwing him sliders.
I mean, at this point,
you can't pick it up.
You can throw Lindor anything right now.
Yeah,
I'm serious. I've never seen him this bad. Now, do I think he is part of the problem? Yes. Do I think he is the major problem? No.
Do you think that attitude and that mindset is rubbing off on these guys in the wrong way?
Well,
do you think that's not really affecting the team morale?
No, the team can't hit. That's what's happening. It's not because Lindor
the team can't hit. Now you got one of your best, your captain,
right?
Just accepting a strikeout. Listen,
he did it in one at bat. The guy never takes a day off. He's played over 160 games with the Mets last year. He doesn't take a day off when he's struggling at the plate. He doesn't take it off in defense. If you watch enough games, the guy is amazing on defense. He's the kind of player that encourages his teammates. Right now, the guy can't hit. And it's not, what gets me, it's not just him. He's in the low 2s. I mean, Alonso's in the low 2s. Yeah. McNeil's in the low 2s.
Oh, yeah. When Harrison Bader is leading your team, or second in batting average, you got a problem.
Honestly, I can't understand it. I don't know what it is for all these guys to be in the low 2s. You get what I'm saying? Even Nimmo, who I think is a good ball player, a really good ball player, he's in the low 2s.
Do you think they need to change the hitting coach? You think it's the hitting coach? Something changed in their approaches to the plate.
No, because apparently this hitting coach worked with them in the 101 win season when they all had career years. I'm starting to think it's in their heads, and it started to spiral out of control. Remember, this goes back to last year, and let me tell you one more thing, and this is big, and not for nothing, the crosstown guys are dealing with this too. You have a team that, let me tell you, if I'm a pitcher and I come into Citi Field and I have to pitch against the Mets, who am I worried about? Okay, Alonso, Lindor, and Nimmo. Okay, who?
Vientos?
Well, I'm still
not really,
not yet.
Okay,
but then I'm like, okay, if I get by them, I'm not gonna throw them anything to hit.
Yeah,
I'll walk them because who's gonna beat me? Harrison Bader, Tomas Nido,
Brett Beatty.
Well, JD Martinez is good too.
Yeah, JD.
Brett Beatty. Who else? Omar Narvaez. If I'm saying his name correctly. Who's going? Starlin Marte, who seems like he's checked out already.
Yeah. So that's another thing. Do you think these guys are just tired of losing now? Like,
no, I don't think they're tired of losing. Obviously you don't want to lose. I don't think it becomes I'm so tired of losing. I'm not even going to try. The team's trying. I've watched the games every day. The team is trying. They're in. I just can't understand. They're below average in batting average. They're below average in OPS.
You know what? I think if they're struggling to hit the ball and put the bat on the ball, they need to change their approach to the plate. They need to go for more contact, play some small ball, get some bunts down. Anything,
I would love to see it.
Anything to get the team going. If they can't hit, you got to do something else because this is how many games now?
Too
many.
This is not even this year only. This goes back into last year. You know, these guys their batting average is low. Their on base percentage is low.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it. Now, once again, we understand hitting's contagious. One man goes, other man goes. We know how protection in a lineup works, right? If you're being protected, you're going to see better pitches. I truly believe that the core is not really the problem. It's almost like the supplemental
yes.
pitch,
Okay. Vocab
players.
word for you there.
Yeah, tongue twister.
Supplemental players.
Players. I think that's what may be the problem right now. But you can't. There's no quick fix to this.
Yeah, you guys are going to be struggling for a while. Until
I think they're going to win 15 in a row. To be honest with you, and you heard it here first.
You heard it here first. I mean, yeah. Let's see how they do. I don't think they're winning 15 in a row. I think they're finishing below 500 this year. I'm not sure what they can do to turn the season around unless they all just hit a magic switch and start hitting. Right now, the outlook for the Mets right now is not looking good. They're not even a playoff team right now.
No, they're
wild card, nothing.
And let me tell you something. And let me be honest with you real quick. Obviously, I want to see my team win. Do I really want to see this team sneak into the playoffs? I know people talk about, Cinderella team, and this guy's going to, someone's going to get hot. Bro, I don't want to see a one and done or a best of three and we're out in 2 games. I can't stomach that anymore.
I mean, your team making the playoffs is still, fun. Of course, you're not expecting them to win because you know how bad they are. But if they can sneak into the playoffs, that's still a good sign.
Okay, so as we stand now, Memorial Day is tomorrow. Happy Memorial Day, everyone.
Yeah.
The Mets, the Dodgers are coming into town now.
Oh, boy.
We just lost 2 out of 3 to the Giants.
You were gonna lose 3 out of 3 to the Dodgers.
They've been playing bad. I believe they lost 5 in a row.
Otani's hurt too, by the way.
Is he really?
He hurt his hamstring. Well, soreness in his hamstring. He's still hitting, but he's not running.
All right, he'll in this series. He'll have 4 home runs. Mark my words. He'll have 4 home runs and a triple.
Is Cohen gonna take him out to lunch again? He's like, please don't hit any home runs. I'll take you to lunch.
He spent enough money on the Otani's crew.
Yeah.
Yamamoto and whatnot. Dodgers coming to town for 3. Diamondbacks coming to town for 4. Next 7 games, it could get extremely ugly.
You're looking about losing 5 out of 7, maybe. Possibly 5 out of 7.
Listen, they could possibly go 2 and 5. You know what? But let's try to get a lead going into the 9th. Yeah. And let's try to close out a game for a change. And we'll take it from there. But right now, Met fans, look at the positives. It's not all bad. We have young talent. Alvarez is coming back. Kodai Senga's going to come back. And if I was him, I would probably take my time anyway. But he will be back shortly. This team's going to look a little better. They're going to get it together. Stay patient, guys.
I can't wait until we're back here, maybe a month from now, and James is still crying, still complaining.
Next week we'll be back. Next week we'll be back.
And the same story the whole season, guys. Have a good one.
Guys, like, subscribe. Thank you for watching.
Catch us on the next one.